Apple Gift Card is a practical gift that unlocks a world of entertainment and fun. You can send it via email or give a physical card to your loved ones. Your friends and family can spend it on their favorite Apple services, including Apple subscriptions. Apple Gift Card can be used to buy all things Apple. Products, accessories, apps, games, movies, TV shows, iCloud Plus, and more. Visit apple.com for details and to send Apple Gift Cards to your friends and family this holiday season.
Alright, what's up guys? Welcome to another episode of the TMossBoss Show. And in today's episode, this episode is honestly annoying me because I've been trying to do this episode for the whole day and I really don't know what's going on. So you know what? If I mess up, I mess up. But I'm getting this episode done and out the way so I can stop thinking about it. So anyways, and it ain't even like I'm like messing up on like things that I'm like, oh, I'm gonna get caught up for saying some stuff. Like I legit would just mess up out of nowhere. It's annoying. Like I don't know why it's like there's certain episodes that I'll think about the whole day and then mess up on it. And I'm like, man, I'm telling you, I hate that. But anyways, in today's episode, I will be talking on this whole Lil Boosie and Lil Nas X situation. Like, man, it's just crazy to see how far it went. And it's Lil Boosie. He's the one that's taking it that far. Now I'm like, bro, you should not let somebody get you this upset over him being attracted to other men. Like, fam, my thing is this. Like, I know he spent some time in prison. I don't know what kind of prison he went to. But I'm like, if he did see that type of stuff in there, I'm like, bro, it ain't no different than... I feel like what it is that because when he went... So, for those that don't know who Lil Boosie is a rapper that was more so popular when I was a kid. And, you know, but at some point in time, he did get sent to prison for whatever reason. I don't know if it was like... I don't know what it is. I ain't gonna say anything and then mess around. People are like, oh, that's why you think he got arrested and stuff. I'm like, I ain't gonna say it. So, anyways, but no. So he did get sent to prison for some time. But during the time when he was in prison, like a lot of this, like, you know, of the outside world had changed. It did. Like, I'm telling you, like the world, it had changed. Like, and I'm, you know, and to overall look at how things was when, you know, I was a kid and he was free and he was making music versus now, like, bruh, it's honestly, it's crazy. You know, it's crazy how, and I'm like, you know, things are more of a sensitive subject. What else? Like, you know, like, but yeah, it's, you know, overall that though, that's like the main thing. Things is more of a sensitive subject because you can't really talk on stuff like versus like how when we were kids and certain things could be said, certain things can be talked about in movies, certain things can be, you know, like you can't talk on that stuff. Like you can't do that type of stuff in movies. Like there's maybe some that can get away with it, but at the end of the day, like you can't. Like I feel like that's one thing that you cannot say derogatory things towards the LGBTQ community. You can't. Like, it's not gonna go good for you. You may not like it, but that's how it's gonna be. And my thing is this. I know people will probably look at me crazy for saying that, but when I look at the stuff that they're going through versus the things that black people was going through, I'll admit, like, you know, it was tough for black, like slavery and all that. I ain't gonna say it's like all the way like racism and slavery, but it's kind of like it. It's like, it's similar to it. You know, there's certain things that's being done, and I'm like, bruh, this isn't no different than me getting a racist comment on YouTube. You know, like the stuff that Lil Boosie is saying about Lil Nas X. I'm like, it ain't no different than the racist comments that I would get. Like, and that's why I kind of like just see it is that, you know, I don't know, maybe he's just, you know, maybe he's like fighting a troll with being a troll. Cause I'm like, at the end of the day, that's what Lil Nas X is doing to Lil Boosie. He's trolling him. He's having fun with the situation. Like, Lil Boosie, you know you ain't got no song with Lil Nas X. So why did you get so pressed over the fact that he came out and said some stuff like that? You could have just very well just said, I don't have no song with Lil Nas X. Left it at that. Like, we ain't got no song with each other. Period. You went ahead and said, no, I'm going to take it a step further called him the F word, said that you wish he would die. Like, do you think that's gonna slide with you? You think that's gonna be... Because I feel like Lil Boosie, he knows that he got his core fans. He knows that he, like people. But my thing is this. If more and more and more people talk on this, like, let's say if like content creators, social media influencers, all these different people came out and started talking about this, Lil Boosie's career is over. Honestly, it is. I mean, he is at a point in time in his life where like, rapping isn't too like looked upon at his age and stuff. I don't know. He may be able to go on a little bit longer, but at the rate that he's going right now, like, bro, my thing is this. You should not be doing the things that you're doing. Like getting mad at Lil Nas X for being attracted to other men. That's not a reason to be upset, especially with him. Like, and then I think that's like the reason why he said that is because he doesn't want like his kids or today's kids or whoever, somebody's kids, he didn't want them looking at Lil Nas X kissing other dudes on on TV and stuff. Now the thing is that I know people that are like that. I know people that are like, they don't like the whole same sex stuff on TV shows and movies and things. But I'm like, fam, like, at the end of the day, that's life. That's what's gonna happen. That's exactly what's gonna happen. But I'm like, the way that you're acting right now about it, that's kind of like with interracial relationships back like in the 50s and 60s. That was looked down upon. You couldn't be black with a white person. Whether you were a white man or a black man or a white woman or a black woman, that type of stuff ain't connecting. People ain't going to look at that as something good. But how my thing is this, how is that different than what's going on in the world today? Like, how is that any different? I'm like, yeah, it's like people, they get so upset over this type of stuff. And I'm like, fam, like, look at how this is going on. Look at the pattern that's happening. They go act out, you overreact to it. Like, it's to me, like, my thing is this. I know people will probably ask me, like, how do I feel about this? How do I feel about men kissing men on TV, women kissing women, and all this other extra stuff? I don't care. It doesn't matter to me. Like, if it made me uncomfortable or I didn't like it, guess what? Guess what still exists? TV remotes. I can very well flip to another show, another channel, whatever. But I'm like, fam, look, they have it where one of the most like watch shows, one of the shows I watch the most, wrestling. They got wrestlers, they got women that's attracted to other women and men that's attracted to other men. The Walking Dead, they had that same stuff on there. Men attracted to men, women attracted to women. What are some movies? Like I'm saying, like, and then now they're having it where there's like superheroes and all this other type of stuff. Like, fam, that's today's generation. Like, that's how it's gonna be. And I don't even know for how long, but I'm like, that's just how it's gonna be. We gotta accept it. Honestly, that's the thing. Like, I'm a very accepting person. Like, when they ask me about that type, because no, it was a friend of mine's. She was telling me about that, and I don't know if she thought like I was going to look at her any differently, but I encourage, because she has said that she's had some like bad relationship with men and stuff. And so I'm like, look, my thing is this, like, if that's the case, and then then she was overall bringing it up that she may be attracted to women, and I'm like, look, if you are attracted to women, I'm like, hey yo, go date a woman. Like, if that's what you want to do it. But I'm like, if you look at me like thinking that, oh, I'm gonna stop you, or I'm gonna be like, oh nah, that's not a good look for you, fam, it is your life. Why should I have, my thing is this, why should I have a say so in her life? Like, why would I say what? Because my thing is like, whatever, I'm very neutral with a person's plan. Like, I'm just like, my thing is like, when they're telling me about their plan, what they want to do, I'm just gonna be like, hey, I'm like, it's whatever. I'm like, if you want to do that, do that. But I'm like, I'm not gonna look at you and be like, oh nah, like, that's not gonna work, or that's not gonna be a good idea. Like, why would I tell her that? My thing is this, because I try to be supportive with anything that a person puts their mind to. I'm like, I'm not going to go and, tell them, I'm like, that's, because even if my thing is this, even if I didn't agree with it, Like, fam, I'm like, okay, I might not agree with it, but I'm at the end of the day, I'm like, hey, yo, but this is your life. Do what you want to do. Do what makes you happy. If you find somebody out there that makes you happy and they're the same sex as you, I'm like, whether you want to be in a relationship with them or whether you want to be friends with them, I'm like, fam, that is your life. So I'm like, that's what it's, and you know, my thing is this. And I've talked on that before, you know, about like, you know, because I know that's like one thing I was like, I would want to like get into movies and stuff. And that's one thing that I've been asked, like, what would you do if you played the role as a, you know, man that's attracted to other men? And I'm like, look, if there's things that make me feel uncomfortable, I'm going to very well come out and talk on that. You know, because I'm like, look, like how I respect you guys and your wishes, please respect me and my wishes. I'm not like, oh, I can't, you know, be, or I'm like, my thing is this. I said I will do certain things in the movie because I'm like, they ain't no different if a woman or a man, there's another movie, like, let's say if it's doing their stunts or cracking a joke or doing something like, they ain't, my thing is this, they ain't no different than when Leonardo DiCaprio, when I think he came out and said how he didn't like the fact that he had to use the N-word in Django. You know, it's just one of those, but he still did. And I'm like, but that's the thing where it's like he built that confidence and that level of being comfortable with that type of stuff. If I'm not comfortable with something, I just be like, bruh, voiceover or something. I'm like, but overall, I'm gonna be like, you know, if that option was ever given to me where I had to do a movie, but they're all like, oh, you got to like kiss a man or do something, or I'm like, nah, I'm not doing that. I'm like, I will hold his hand and I will act, you know, like how like, you know, however you want me to act. But I'm like, my thing is this, there's just certain things I just don't feel comfortable doing. Now I'm like, it ain't no different if there is like a crazy scene that needed to be did for the movie and the other actor, I'm like, because there's so many different things. And I'm like, look, all I ask for, it's just the respect, you know, my wishes on that type of stuff. It's not that I'm against it. It's just something that I just don't want to do. So I'm like, I just think, you know, and then that's the thing. I know people are going to probably be like, oh, trying to like argue with me over it. And that's why I'm like, you know, if people want to argue, because I'm like, there are certain things that I like, you know what? No, I ain't going to like hold back in this podcast episode because I'm like, there's probably like movie scenes out there where, because I don't know, it ain't even so much as like a trauma, and I'm not trying to really compare it to a trauma, but I'm like when SA or, you know, freaking, how can I say, because I'm like, I don't know if it's against, you know, the policy, the, you know, podcast policy to like talk, but I don't know. All right, so anyways, but like sexual assault or the R word and stuff for like, you know, sexual assault. Because I'm pretty sure that there's actors out there that they feel mad uncomfortable when they have to do scenes like that. So that's why you know, when I hear that type of stuff, you know, I've heard where actors before, they feel uncomfortable in doing that type of stuff. And I'm like, they ain't no, I'm like, so why is it different if I, you know, don't want to be up on screen kissing a man? Like I said, I'm not against it. There are actors out there that are cut out for that type of stuff. But I'm like, with me, I'm not. So that's why I'm like, I can't, you know, be like, oh, you know, like try to, no, man, I'm just like, it's just something I don't see myself doing. So if people like get mad about it, I'm like, hey, yo, you can get mad about it. I'm not going to look at you any different, like, because I'm saying I'm friends with people that are part of the, you know, LGBTQ community and stuff. I'm supportive of what they do. They're, you know, not protests, but when they be doing them things like the parades and stuff. But when they do that, what other things? Like, yeah, it's like, you know, all of that. So I'm like, if that's what they want to do, that's what they want to do. Do I have to do it? No. I'm like, I haven't been to one of those parades. I haven't been to, that doesn't mean that I'm not supportive of it. Fam, there are other things in this world that I'm supportive of, and I haven't went to it. And I'm like, don't think like, oh, because you guys, like, y'all are special or something. Like, that's just my thing. That's just my input on it. Like, it's not that I'm against it, but there's just certain things that I just won't do. You know, and that's like that with any job, career, whatever it is. Like, there's people out there that they got certain jobs and they're all like, oh, we want you to get inside the dumpster and clean all the mold and the gook off of the walls and stuff. Person's probably like, nah, I'm not doing that. And I'm like, you better hire somebody else or go get rid of that garbage can and get a new garbage can. But I ain't doing that. No, that ain't gonna happen. I'm like, and even I wouldn't do no stuff like that. I'm like, you ain't gonna go and have me off up in no garbage can, cleaning the inside. I'm like, that's disgusting. That's degrading and stuff. But But no, like, what other things out there? I'm like, or a person there, like, oh, we want you to go skydiving or, do some crazy stunt or something. I'm like, I ain't doing that either. I'm like, I ain't doing that no crazy stunt. I'm like, you gonna mess around and get me killed or something for doing those wild stuff. I'm like, nah, we gonna go to this studio. We gonna go to Warner Brothers Studios or Universal. We gonna use one of them big giant rooms with the green screens in it, and we gonna go and do our stuff in there. But I ain't doing no extra stuff. So I'm like, nah, that ain't gonna happen. But anyways, I'm pretty sure everybody catches like what I'm saying and stuff. So I'm like, that, and I just feel like with Lil Boosie, it's like, you ain't got to like be all like, oh, like, going to the parades or, supporting it like publicly. But it's like, bruh, but it's like this, what you're doing now, that ain't a good look. So that's why I'm like, hey, there's just certain things that you can say and do, and there's certain things that you can't say and do. What he said today towards Lil Nas X, you definitely can't say that, all right? So, anyways, and that being said, I will talk to y'all later. Thank you guys for watching and or listening. If you're viewing this on YouTube, make sure you like and subscribe. And if you're viewing this on the podcast streaming service, make sure you follow or subscribe, however it's set up. Make sure you subscribe to one of my 36 YouTube channels. Follow me on Twitter, TikTok, Twitch, and Instagram at TMossBoss. And make sure you follow my Facebook page at TMossBoss fan page. Also, if you're purchasing any tickets from SeatGeek, make sure you use my promo code TMossBoss. It would knock $20 off your next purchase. And if you're purchasing things from Epic Games, make sure you use my supported creator code TMossBoss. And in the meantime, I will talk to you guys later. Thank you guys for watching and or listening, and peace.